reviewing? What you reviewing?
Welcome back to What You Reviewing. I'm Mint Salad, and I'm reviewing the For True album by Trombone Shorty. I should note that unlike last review where I have extensive notes on each song, this review I'm not going to have extensive notes on each song, but I do have an album list up here, and I'll just tell you quickly about what I think about each song. The first opening track is Backed.by, and this is a great introduction to the album. This album is pretty much super jazzy, very consistent in which instruments that it uses and also the sound that it uses at the same time versus the last album, Back.by. There is more variety upon the styles, but in this album there's a lot less variety, but I also think it goes harder, so I like it more. I really like Buck Jump and Encore. Those are in my likes on my Spotify playlist, and I listen to them a lot. Also, Encore has a nice encore replay, bow, 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 you know, stuff like that. I like that a lot. It's very jazzy, but it's also very bluesy, kind of a ballad type, which is cool. There's also For True, hence the album name. For True is different, but also very similar. It's more rocky, but I also like it as well. There's more drums, there's more guitar, there's more trombone. Also, all of these songs have lyrics on them on most of the songs. I like For True, but it's definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely on the top list of favorites in this album. Then there's Do To Me. What you gotta do to me, you boo-doo-woo, you know, do to me. Messages, why you gotta do this to me, you know? This is about his girlfriend being bad and him also being like, no, please, girlfriend, stop, I wanna have love, but you're being annoying and all your friends are in town. All your friends are making sure that you're not on my side. And I just think this is total cope, dude. Your girlfriend is not going to be on your side if she's telling her friends about you. Dump her immediately. There is Lagamapi, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's more of like a music break, and it's very short. I'm not the biggest fan of this music break. It's definitely very New Orleans streets marching band style is what I would describe it as. And then there's The Craziest Thing. This is definitely a song about how the chick that he loves makes her go crazy. The craziest thing about you. A love song, but it is a banger. So I'm okay with the love song and I'm okay with the bangerness. There's also Do Main Street. Do Main Street is also on my likes. I really like the beat, it's very groovy. I'm a big fan of groovy stuff. And also, this entire track listing really blends in well together. One listen through and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm listening to a very composed piece of music. Mrs. Orleans, Mrs. Orleans. It's a very recognizable melody there. That one popped in my head, although it's about Mrs. Orleans. Although, you know, I think this is about a woman, but it's also about love for New Orleans. That can be interpreted that both ways, those lyrics. Nervous is kind of a boppin'. I don't really have a lot of memory on what it sounds like off the top of my head, even though I've listened to this album like so many times. Like I first listened to this album right after listening to Back.by, and I was like, you know, I'm not the biggest fan. Let's listen to the next one. And this one was like, oh man, I love this album so much more than Back.by. But Nervous, I feel like is also very groovy. There's a lot of lyrics that are kind of just like, yeah, we're just having a nice groovy old time, kind of stuff like that. And then we have Roses. Roses is more of like a ballad, and it seems like it's a love song as well, but it's still a banger, and I do appreciate the level of bangerness that there is. Also, Big 12, best song in the album by far. I love Big 12. I absolutely just want to listen to it on repeat. It's so awesome, so amazing, such a banger. The tension, the build-up, the release of the tension, and it's so perfectly done. Then there's Unk. Personally, I don't know what Unk means, but I do like the name. Although this song isn't really as much of a banger as Big 12. The only thing I could think what Unk means is like an older black guy that may or may not be your uncle that's respected, so that might be where it comes from. Then There Was You is the next one. Then There Was You is also another love song, although it's not nearly as a banger as the Mrs. Orleans. Although I do like this as an end of an album. It's still pretty groovy, not gonna lie. And then there's La Pagnepe, Lagnia. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is also the second part of the musical break that just designates the end of the album. It's cool, and also all of these songs, they flow so well as an album, and it's such a banger. I could listen to this album so many times. There's not an album like this. There's not an album where I like all of the songs and like some of the songs a lot more than the others, but still like all of the songs. Usually albums, I'm like, you know, I'm not a big fan of some of these songs, but I really love some of these songs. So those are the cases in which I wouldn't listen to the album again, but this album I've listened to so many times, and I've had listened to it so many times. So I gotta give this album a solid 9 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert music and movie reviewer. So if I haven't reviewed on a channel, there's a chance I haven't listened to it at all. If you'd like to fast track a music review, you can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one music review per 1 month or movie review. I also do daily movie reviews, but this is the music review channel. Or you can go to my link tree to find the way that you can afford the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time on What You're Reviewing, I'll see you later, my sacristans and big bits.